So bringing it to you guys tonight in a work session was to throw that information out to you, see if that was something that you thought, the rest of you guys thought would work, so that we can forward it through a legal resolution at some point in time to actually implement it, because from what I'm looking at on paper, we're obligated, unless the lawyer comes up with something different.
Do you have to go with one certain company because you're a town?
No.
So you only checked with one place?
That was like a broker that checks with a bunch of.
Oh,
Yeah,
cause I went through somebody else and
yeah.
this seems.
No,
odd.
as a matter of fact, they were talking over my head, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they knew who the doctors, who the providers were, who was in network,
Right.
who was out of network, they knew, you know, the different insurances out there, and they were more than willing to compare. So,
Because I just
You know,
didn't know if there was other places where you could go,
yeah.
because there's so many different companies.
To,
Yeah.
to get the best rate you can.
Right.
For what the coverage
Right.
you can, I understand. But, it was my understanding walking away from there that it was pretty much what we were gonna get, you know, anywhere.
We can continue to research that too.
Yep. So, again, here's the guides, there's the books. There's a quote that she gave us, so that won't change. Anybody wants to look at what the actual coverage is, here's the two books on it. And what we got. So I brought this on, and so you guys can look at them and see if you're interested in that particular avenue with these people. You wanna go through those and look at them, or have a couple, I don't know, you're getting down to, if you're gonna do something by the 28th, you're getting down to days, but I mean, you can circulate them around the board to make sure that who wasn't there, or do you have any questions for us? That Sharon was there, I was there, Mike was there. I don't know if you have any questions for us on any.
I was wondering, would we have to have a public hearing on this? To bring this, something maybe for the attorney to answer?
A public hearing for,
For the insurance, to adopt this.
I wouldn't believe so.
Could we do it just by resolution?
It's already, the resolution, like I said, if this is up and is upheld and standing, is standing, we would just be passing a resolution to implement
I see,
the insurance. It's already passed that they're doing,
I understand.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, we're like looking at, what the insurance covers and what the crunch of the numbers, whether that's within what you think it should be. Any discussion? If you're good with that, I will forward this information to the attorney and see how you can write up a resolution, and at the same time, I will inquire as to, you know, what he thinks about what the insurance should be, whether it's equal to, greater than, or whatever, by the way this is written, and if there's anything we can do to, if the board wants to. Is it something that you wanna continue to do, or do you want me to check with them and see if it's something that we don't wanna further with new employees, or?
I'd like to get his take on what he says about being able to change it.
We can change it without any lawyer. We can change the resolution and
Yeah, how far?
But can you do it as of now, is my legal question, can we do it like now for anybody that's newly hired or newly elected?
I think it would have to be new employees.
That's what I'm saying, because I wouldn't feel comfortable unless talking to the
Right.
lawyer to say, okay, mayor's coming up in 4 years and we're gonna yank this out from underneath it, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Without talking to the lawyer and seeing what we're obligated to do.
I would have to think it'd be grandfathered in, anybody that's here now.
That's all I would want to make
Wow.
sure that,
You guys are gonna have to sell something to start paying for this.
There's only like 3 or 4 people in the next every few years that would even be eligible, is that
Yeah,
correct?
under that plan, no, we don't see any benefit for that for 24 years. You know, from the new employees on. In the meantime, we gotta pay.
Well, I'm saying, there's
No,
not that
you
many
wouldn't.
people.
If we did it, what we do is, or from my, understand what you guys are asking for, and it's up to the board, but, would we not wanna continue doing this at all for any more?
Right.
And my only concern is legally whether we're obligated to continue to do this for anybody that's already been elected or hired or appointed.
That's what you're gonna check on,
Exactly.
right? I would jump on that.
Like I said, that's up to the whole board whether that's what they want me to do.
This is pretty much, it's not for part-time employees, right? For full-time employees.
So how many hours do you consider part-time and full-time?
Full-time's 30, according to civil
Really?
service.
I've never heard such a thing.
Civil service.
Fine. I don't know, I know.
So everybody at
state
McDonald's is
retirement was-
full-time.
State retirement was, part-time was 6 hours a day,
Really?
full-time was 8. I just learned that in the class when I was down there, that's why I could spit that out and I feel comfortable doing it.
30 hours a
But
week,
that's-
everybody at
that's
McDonald's and
what
Burger
the-
King's full-time?
The state retirement system considers, anybody
That's
6
just
hours
state?
part-time, yep, on the state retirement system.
So we don't have any money.
I don't make home, I don't know what it is. All right, so we'll do that.
No,
Huh?
is that it?
No, I had a whole bunch here, Michael, but I don't know if we're gonna get through any of it. Okay, Mr. McCarthy called and asked me if we'd be interested in this today. He's, at BOCES, or CV Tech, I should say. CV Tech, asked if we would, pass a proclamation. February is, recognition of the vocational, technical trades. And, he named several other towns that do this. I asked him if he could, make a copy and send it to us of what they have already passed. It doesn't cost us anything, it's just recognizing them for the work they do with teachers and the trade skills.
Put it on the website.
Yeah, and, well, you'd send this to them after we, adopted the proclamation and made it by resolution. And this is just like pretty much a PR thing, it's a good PR. And February is, or the month of February is where they do it. So, I can, if you guys wanna take a look at what usually, sure, I think that
I'm good. I'm good with
want to see it?
Yeah.
And if you wanna look at a copy.
Thanks.
No, they have a really good program.
They do.
Yeah.
I don't have any
It's
relatives working.
basically just in recognition of what they do over there
Yeah,
and
it's a good program.
having us support them during their month.
So would we do this in form of resolution? at
Yeah,
the
it
next
wouldn't be done
meeting?
until the 28th, right, but I want everybody, biggest thing that you wanted was for us to
Sure,
know what's going on before we vote on it, that's why I brought everything out
sure.
in the public eye
Thank you.
tonight, on the 28th, nobody has any surprises. So, if you guys are good with that, I mean, other than,
Can I just make a suggestion,
Sure.
since I'll be doing the resolution?
yeah,
Now therefore, the town board of the town of Schuyler Falls do hereby proclaim February, whatever, as, so that's your whole, because you're doing the resolution, so it's the whole town board. You're doing the you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be aye, or no, nay, nay.
Right.
So whereas now therefore, the town board of the town of Schuyler Falls, that's it, usually you can look at all my proclamations that I have in my computer, and that's the way they are.
sure.
The town board passes it,
Right.
okay?
So you guys will tweak it before you begin?
Yeah, you're gonna send it to me so I can tweak it?
Yeah. I got no problem. Matter of fact, you keep that one. And then, or
No,
it's
in the computer.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you said. I got you. Yep, you're more than welcome to. So, if you guys are interested in that, well, we could, unfortunately, I'm not going to be here at that 28th or the 20th. But, if you guys are good with that.
Vacation day, you ain't been here a month?
I know, I'm gonna take the flight, but I had that cruise planned a year and a half ago. I
Yeah,
didn't
this
know
job
anything about
canceled.
it.
You
Yeah,
got this job now.
I know. You'd have to deal with my wife, I'll let you do with that.
Well, she can go without you probably.
Yeah, yeah. Alright.
Probably go on for a long time after that.
The next one too.
Okay, everybody's good with this?
No, I agree, son.
Okay, everybody copy of, the, training for, Chris, or, Mr. Christian? I go to the dog training there for, January 31st.
This is gonna come up with resolution, right?
Yep.
We haven't done early registration yet.
Right.
It's going
It's gonna
in,
happen.
it's
Yeah.
going in to be voted on for Tuesday.
What is that, Kevin?
Basically, it's a school for him for being dog catcher, and it allows him to know what the rules are, the laws are. It's pretty inexpensive. It's $50
Okay.
if you want to
Yeah.
know. It's still taxpayers' dollars, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but at least it gives him the laws and the information that he's supposed to work on.
Has he been to any training since he started?
No,
No. So, like I said.
Did you talk to him about going? Is he gonna go?
I did,
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
yes, I did,
Yeah.
and he would like to go.
Actually, he requested it.
He's
And we
he's
looked.
never went anywhere and he liked to go.
Can I just say something on training,
Mhm.
just real quick? Every one of these guys, Kevin, Reg, Howard, anybody that goes to these trainings, including Cliff to this one, they don't get any extra. If they said, no, I don't wanna go, okay, you're gonna save the town $50, or whatever it costs for the expense of going to New York.
Or
Yes,
if he does
you-
something wrong with somebody's
Right,
dog.
and then
Or
we get
illegally.
sued and it becomes a problem. But even
Where
this New
we can
York
say,
trip,
see, the other thing you gotta look at with
I know,
training
sure,
things-
I know, but there's a lot of stuff, the condition this town is in, money-wise, maybe you can get some of this stuff off the computer. Like I said before, you can get a diploma from college to teach and stuff from the computer. Now, we're not in the best of condition this town if you raise taxes 187% for the general fund, 90% last year, you gotta understand. There's some people here that probably don't make the money you make or somebody else, and
It's
They see this.
45%, it's not 180%, it's both, it's 45 cents.
yeah, but it's
1,000.
180, yes. But what other towns around here went up 187% on
we're
the,
still the
It still
second
says the
lowest
tax
town in
increase.
Clinton County.
Okay,
as
who's
far
the
as
other
tax.
one?
Lowest?
Clinton,
Clinton,
With
They got
the-
windmills, we have a
Right.
dump.
yeah,
right.
Right, and when
We'll
they,
always have a dump, they aren't always gonna give money on the
Okay,
window.
answer me this, and I'll shut up again. Say in 20 years, this dump's gone. What other
Yeah.
income do we have into this town other than the dump? Nobody ever brings any businesses into this town,
I've been here 2 weeks, I've been working on that already.
okay?
Okay, can you just?
Well, no, but have I seen it? I've been here
Give us a little-
65 years.
Give me a little time, that's all I
Okay,
ask.
but
And I'm
you know
gonna
what I
sit
mean?
here and look you right in the eye, and I'm gonna tell you this, okay? I will do the best that I can for everybody here. I've lived here 54 years. I love this town, I wanna stay here. I wouldn't
Mhm.
ran for office if I didn't want it to
Yeah.
be better, okay? There's a lot of things that we could look at. There's a lot of things that need to be done. There's some things that are coming up here that I didn't even dream that I'd be working on to try to fix before I could move ahead with shovel-ready projects like you're talking about.
Right.
You know, to get some industry in and those type of things. If we ever get to it, I'm trying to form a committee for the new zoning so that we can work on that to make sure our zoning's in compliance with what we're gonna need to do with the new town plan. Cause that's the next section of it, okay?
More
But-
friendly
But
zones
you
too,
can't,
get
you
more
can't,
business.
you can't expect it, I'm just gonna
But
tell
we've
you
heard this
flat
before.
out front. you know.
But we've heard this
I'm not gonna
before.
lie to you.
Right.
You can't expect that
No,
maybe within a year and a half to 2 years before I even get the groundwork for some of this
but we've
stuff.
heard it before.
And I can't speak for anybody else.
Right.
The only thing I can tell you is that my ambitions are getting inhibited a little bit by some pressing stuff that I never thought I'd have to work on when I came in the door. Some stuff that needs to be done. Because if we don't have we're gonna get in water here in a little bit and different things. If we don't have the mechanics in place to substantiate, you know, what we want for growth and how you're gonna grow the town, we're never gonna get it there.
Right.
So, I got some ideas, I can't do it alone, I'm hoping the board works with it, I'm hoping that you guys, as, you know, our constituents work with us and say, okay, I understand where he's going with this, and, you know, either you like it or you don't. Because what it boils down to is, you can only do what you think is good at the end anyways. So I can have 100 good ideas, but if you don't give us the time or the place to sit here and talk about them,
Oh, I can understand you
you
need
know what I
time,
mean?
but,
Then we're never gonna get.
we've been told this before. If I'm right on this, we've heard it before, you know? It's-
Well, all I can say is give this board, you got some new people on here, you know, give us a chance. And you can hammer me, I'll be up here, I'll be here at the same time next month, okay? Anyway, so we'll go with that. Reggie, I'll throw these out to you. Reggie was concerned about the water that was running down at the bottom.
Did you look at it?
Yeah, I didn't go down, I saw it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Of River Street, so liability issues he was worried about, whether, I guess there's people going down there and they're filling the jugs up or whatever. The issue down there. So I don't know if, you know, maybe there's something that we could take and, have either one of the maintenance guys here go down and put up a piece of snow fence around it, or if that's not, you know, sturdy enough or what have you, if we can have somebody from the highway go down there and maybe put a fence around it, or if
A lot of
it's a
people get water
legitimate
there.
concern of the whole
Never
board,
heard of that.
but I wanted to address it.
It's not spring water.
No, I know, that's what I said to Reggie, I said, well, Jesus, they can get the same thing out of their own tap if they just turn it
No,
on.
I mean, I was looking at, it's kind of a liability if you have children go play there. I mean, the water is running out into the ditch. It's chlorinated water, it's perfectly safe for that purpose. But, I mean, do we wanna invite people, the public, to go down into a ditch and get water from there? I'm just saying, maybe a security fence around there?
Why
Just a
is
safety
this
issue.
water running? Is that the water that's
That's-
So
running?
it
because
doesn't
of that?
freeze, so it doesn't freeze up.
Which brings up our next issue. So,
Yeah, better
I
to
thought it
spend the
was a
time to
safety
see what's
issue,
out,
that's
you know,
why I brought it
put
up.
a bench, keep them out.
so I don't know if
You guys
that's
don't
a
wanna do
concern
it?
of y'all, or
Fine.
or there's something we can look at and see if they got something that they could put out temporarily around that. Would be a deterrent.
It's gonna be hard right in the road like that.
Yeah, it's just off to the side, it's on the dead end part of it.
Right, but we gotta be careful, because if we ask them to put something up, and it's not up secure because of the weather and everything, and somebody gets hurt because of that, then we're at more liability on that than we are with the water getting into it.
Well, that's why I said, that I brought it up, that's why I said here, bring this up for discussion and possible solution.
How long has it been like that?
How many years?
Years,
Probably a few years.
How about, can we change the hose when it comes out, run it down further in the ditch?
I think
That's
they
an
had it
issue.
up there to make sure that they could see that it was running when they go down through with
Somebody
plows
can
and
get out of
stuff,
their
just to
truck.
make sure that it is, so it doesn't freeze. Which brings up a whole nother issue that we'll talk about here in a
Should
minute.
pipe that over to the fire station so you got more pressure.
Yeah, right. Being a long home across the river, we might be able to do something.
Who monitors the water coming out of there? Is that the town of Plattsburgh? So why don't somebody call town of Plattsburgh to see if they think it's a good idea to put something around there and they could do it?
That's a good idea. I'll do that.
Plus it'd have to be accessible to them anyway.
Yeah.
They're the ones that turn on and off, you gotta be able to get to that hydrant.
Yeah, that doesn't run in the summer, does it?
No,
Just in the winter because of the.
because of the issue we got up there with the put
They're not
there
very
too
deep.
shallow. It's been that way since it was put in, so.
Is
it's
that the
nothing-
only pipes in the village that are shallow?
Without having an engineer in front of me, I can't
Oh.
answer that directly, but I'll tell you that's the one that we have the problems
Right,
with.
that
We
whole
don't
street.
normally have a problem, from what I understand, with it freezing anywhere else.
That's what I was wondering about.
Yeah, but yeah, so.
Well, another thing, when they when they bought out all that, remember when they bought out all that property down there? So all those people that used to be on that system and used to draw water, and they used to draw enough water down there to keep it from freezing.
Well, they didn't have to run it.
Once they stopped using the water, there's not enough flow.
Yeah, there's what, 4 houses or so, well, plus whatever's on that new lane, right?
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 there.
Yeah, I used to loop around and there was
But
good.
the big thing, like I
there was
say,
good
when I
flow.
talked to Donald, he said basically when they went over the top of the hill, just before it fuzzied up, they ended up with ledge, and they couldn't dig it down any deeper.
Yeah.
So, it's something that we're gonna have to look at, but
How much is coming out of that a day? Do you, anybody know? Could you slow the flow down and still accomplish what you need?
well, I didn't, I thought about that, but I was like, do I wanna be the one that goes up there and turn that down and then it freezes and breaks and that costs the taxpayers in that water district about $14,000
As long as it's
for
running, it
repairs
shouldn't
now.
freeze.
You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, because I can't, I know what they've been doing works, and it doesn't freeze, but it, far be it for me, cause I thought about that, we talked about it, like Jay and I was like, I go up there and I slow it down a little bit, and then all of a sudden it freezes and it breaks, and that costs the district, $14,000. Huh?
Can we talk to the town of Plattsburgh about that, about slowing it down?
Well, I don't know if they can come up with a theory.
Kevin, how about just a no trespassing sign put up there? Cover us
We already
from
have
the
that.
town.
It's already
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, there, it says, there's a sign down there, it says no
If
vehicles
they're,
beyond
if they're
this point,
legit
so,
signs and
Yeah,
they're
that's a good
the proper
idea.
distance,
You know,
the town is at least covered for that if someone was to go down there and say,
but
oh, we're suing you.
New
No,
York State
because
is
you're
zero
in a no
liability
trespassing
for the
zone.
State, so no matter what happens, you know, even if you
If
could have
you
your,
get them
you
in,
could have
pick
your
them up.
property totally posted, and if somebody gets hurt on it, you're still liable. New York State's a real liberal state, this is zero deferred liability. It will help you, saying that you tried to defer somebody from getting hurt there, but either way, like you say, it doesn't matter if you put a fence there, because if they climb over it, you're still
Climb over it, you're still in,
responsible.
and then if they fall down and
Yeah,
climb
but
over
it-
it and get hurt, or
See,
we're even in
I
worse
don't
trouble.
know all these minor things.
That
So,
Rose is running,
apologize.
that Rose is running full blast.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably like 10 gallons a minute, actually,
Hmm?
with the pressure coming out of there. It's probably dumping like 10 gallons in 1 minute. It's
That's
really
600
coming out
gallons an
a lot
hour.
of pressure.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
if you
wouldn't
start
even-
calculating that up,
The only way you could do
amazing.
that is put a P-flow on it, and I could borrow from the county, but, because that's how we know what we're coming out with for gallons per minute out of our fire trucks when we test them, but like I said, is it worth it? I mean, what the problem is we need to fix the problem,
certainly.
right? You know,
Yeah.
we can't keep kicking the can down the road.
Has anybody ever checked and see if there's any grants available for some of these repairs?
Well, that's,
Heaven's
give
word.
me a minute, I'm already way ahead of you,
I
okay?
know, but you've been here 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know, it's hard, but I've been doing some stuff. So anyways, another issue we got. It's coming, like I say, my attention that the water rates for the Marshall Water District are in need of a rate increase. The water usage and leakage are more money than what we will collect this year from the 3-month billing cycles, the quarterly 3-month billing. Projected probably 20% increase should be looked at to fix the shortfall in the revenue. This is further compounded by a rate increase from the town of Plattsburgh. The new water rates were increased by the town of Plattsburgh Water for the year 2020. The new rates for 2020 are a minimum of 0 to 7,000 gallons, would be $29.10, and after the minimum is met, $2.32 for every 1,000 gallons after that. Discussion is needed to reach a fair rate increase that will keep the water district solvent and make, and again, have enough money left over in the water district account to pay for needed repairs. In calendar year date 2019, metered water rates were set at $22.20 for the first 0 to 7,000 gallons, and $2.22 a 1,000 after the minimum is reached. As you can see, the current rate will not cover the new cost increase by the provider, which is the town of Plattsburgh Water. So we need to look at water rates. I asked Reggie to go over to the town. Unfortunately, I've been playing tag with Scott over there, and he knows and has his number.
Yeah.
He's gonna go over, he's got a program that we don't have, so that he can plug different rates in there and find out where we can come up so that we make at least the water district solid, that we're gonna have enough money to pay for what the water usage is by our constituents in that Morrisville Water District. And we'll go from there. At that time, we'll end up passing a resolution. Now, we're in any luck, we'll be able to get that, get over there before the 28th, so we can do this, cause you need, and you,
The
by
new
March,
rates
is it,
start
we
in
need to,
March, yeah, they
so we need
read
to
again
figure
in
it out
March.
before March. But, I mean, just in black and white, what we're charging is not gonna be enough to pay for what even our costs are for the water that they're gonna charge us. So we definitely have to do it. That, the
That's for the motion.
2019 increase that was passed by the board was equal to 10% increase, just so you're aware. So, you know, it didn't really leave a lot in there for maintenance. There is some monies left in the Morrisville Water District. I talked to Mary today, as far as monies in there, if they do have a repair. Because that's what I wanted to know when I talked to Scott. I didn't, over the phone, I said, the worst case scenario, say it's Christmas Eve and it's, midnight and we gotta get somebody out there to fix something, what's it gonna cost? What's the average repair cost? So, most of them are like 7,000 or more for water break main. You gotta make sure you have some money in there to cover cost of repairs in the meantime. Now, on the bottom of this, where it says we will need to look at possible upgrade to the Morrisville Water District. I was able to meet with the Burge and talk to them. One of their representatives was actually at the conference that we went to. And it's time that we start really looking at, instead of band-aiding this thing together and wasting all kinds of water, whether it's going a lot of it down there naturally, but that isn't gonna take up what our actual shortfall is from the meter down at the bridge, because we're losing a lot of gallons. So there's probably breaks in the old lines. Sitting down, talking to him, he said that, first of all, they're pretty familiar with the town of Plattsburgh Water District, because they've been doing most of the engineering for him. He knows what it's capable of and what areas of water we would be able to take in into our district and not and have it feasible, so that the wells or whatever they're getting water from would be enough to cover us also. I also talked to him about, if you remember, Jesus, Ray Newell was what, 15 years ago, 20 years ago when Ray was in? He had proposed a project back then to bring an upgrade to the whole system, the water district for Morrisonville. And it was, I guess it died on the vine pretty much after they got some pushback from the public and they didn't really want to spend the money to upgrade it or fix it. So I talked to him about some grants. Right now, the grants are, if anybody's been reading the paper, you see Town of Blackbrook got a $1 million grant, cost them about $200,000. What they do is, it's a 60-40 grant right now, up to $5 million. So if we spend a $5 million grant, or a $5 million project, they would chip in $3 million of it, which is a huge amount. We'd have to sit down and do some real number crunching and have some public information and have a couple of public hearings to let everybody know what we are thinking of, but what I kind of started here, and then go from there. So I don't know if that's something that you're willing to support me on, but.
We need to get an estimate first on what it costs, right?
Right, and talking with Ben down there, like I said, it would be pretty easy, he said, to bring that 20-year plan back up to current, current project
So we have to
projection price.
hire LaBarge or someone to do an estimate for us.
Yeah, and actually, not to leave Reggie out of this whole thing, Reggie did some work with Tedford Group, and we met with her also, Liz, and she had some avenues to look at as far as maybe even getting paid for the grant writing part of it. She estimated her fee to be about $3,000 to do some projection. I talked to the Bird Group, and they have worked with her in the past, and said that they could do like a parallel program with her. Pretty much she'd take care of the income study, and everybody's not versed in that. There's monies to be had there, depending on what the income survey comes up with for the water district. We can get rates on bonds to pay for the rest of it, right? Because nothing's ever 100%, like I told you, it's a 60-40. The bonds could be anywhere from 0% to up to 3%, depending on what the income study comes in at. And whether, again, our constituents are willing to give up what they make for a living, because she goes, it's kind of offensive or evasive when I show up and ask, hey, can you tell me how much you make a year? But it's for a good cause, because at the end of the whole thing, it will reduce the amount that they will pay for in a bond, you know what I mean? So those are some things that I've been working on the side, and I'm hoping to, bring that.
We had an income study before, and because of Joyce Avenue, we didn't really get, that's what faulted
Kinda,
the.
yeah, bumped it up.
Yeah,
And I would imagine Hilltop Estates.
Hilltop Estates, yeah, that's
bumps
what
it quite a bit
really,
too.
that's why we
But-
couldn't get any free grants.
Right, well, yeah, and like I said, the income survey would be to offset, again. And I believe she said it was up to 50,000, right? She said that they could possibly get, or a percentage off of the bond.
She was
So
saying.
it's worth
an-
looking into.
An income survey to pay for the engineering study.
Yeah.
That was her point. She's been quite successful really in the Tri-County area on getting this. And LaBerge has worked with her a lot, and they kind of recommended her as well, so.
And according to the birds, if they're not blowing, tooting their own horn, they won't take it unless they can get the grant, because they got 100% grant rating. So they don't really want to hurt their image either. So it looks like we can't get it for you. We will let you know that up front before we go through all the stuff, and we'll send you to somebody else as a recommendation. But you know what? They're honest up front, and if that's what it is, it's
Hire her
that's
to do
pretty
income
pretty
survey.
good.
Would the water users repay the bond, or would all the taxpayers pay it?
No, that would be
Water
up to the
district.
district. Every water district is its own separate entity.
No.
So, I mean, that's stuff that we can look at for all the water districts, you know, the bonds the grants are there, depending upon if they wanna spend the money, because it ain't gonna be free, it's gonna be 60-40. So if they're willing to kick in 40%, the problem we got is that our water districts are so frickin' small, excuse my language, that it's split between a very small amount of people. And the cost of engineering and everything else, 'cause